Hey guys, RunBuck with RunBuck on Games. Got another war recap for you. This time facing a clan that had a 56 win streak. But probably the big storyline was that at the end I was attacked. I was accused. Of modding. To me, that's a great compliment because we all know how bad I am. So that I actually had one war out of all, 300 that I've done that people actually thought I was modding. Maybe I'm getting a little better. 2, 3 years later. Well, let's take a look at that. As you can see here, they won 71-72. Not surprising. They did have a hugely engineered clan. It was kind of funny how engineered it was. I guess that's how you get 56 wins. They Town Hall 11, pure, we were both the same, 2 and 2. They had one extra 10.5, so there was one plus one on the super nuke. And then at Town Hall 10, we had 4, they had 5, so we had a slight advantage there. But then they had 5.5, so really plus 4 nuke advantage from Town Hall 10 down to Town Hall 9. And then, as if that wasn't enough, let me show you this guy. It's kind of funny. Down at the bottom, they had, let me scout this one for you, this massive Town Hall 3, which I refer to as ballast. But the funny thing was, I don't think people realize they all try to do these Town Hall 9.5, 10.5s. I guess they feel like that's not totally too engineering. But it's really the same thing. You're really playing with weights in the matchmaking system to get a mismatch on Town Hall mirrors. But this guy is like huge. Look at this. The weight of this base is 1,000 total. When you compare that to a Town Hall 9 max, let's go ahead and scroll up and look at one. Zing. I think this was one right here. Yeah, boy hit it. When you compare that to Town Hall 9 max, I think it's 70, but let's make sure. Yeah, 12 times 14 is 70. So that's 69,000 in weight for the clan overall that you can spread. And when you think about, if you can just get 5, in this case they had +1 from a Town Hall 11, they had +4 from Town Hall 10. That's 5 that they had in excess of mirror mismatches, which gave them ability to beat us. Because clearly, I don't think they would have won without it. But so 5 mismatch clearly is giving them an ability to win 56 win streak kind of stuff. And then do the math. So if I can just get 5 guys and spread that 69,000 weight over 5 guys, that means that they can go down 12,000 in weight. So this matchmaking system is trying to figure out how to match that level 3 Town Hall in. And so it lowers, because it's really trying to make sure you're in the same range in terms of weight. So it's lowering down who they match against on certain Town Hall levels, and it creates those mirrors offsetting. So it's kind of funny. I tried to get somebody to attack that Town Hall 3 with just wall breakers, but they wouldn't do it. I was very upset. But let's go back to the headline. The headline of this is me being accused of modding. I'll show you the attack, the second attack I did. I will just do them 4 times speak. So I want to show you a couple things here. And it's interesting that this was the one that pushed them over the edge. This was late in the war, like last 2 minutes. I 3-starred this. But if you guys follow the channel, you know that this is one of the 3-star locksmith videos, or at least a variant of it. But notice the weirdness that happened. The queen actually dives in this style of the base of it. So there are slight differences, but as long as they stay with the core flow, even though the queen runs off by herself and almost dies 58 times, the core of the attack still works well. The bowlers get to mid, they swing around the outside, everything's happening pretty well, and then a good timing of the freeze takes down the eye tower, and at that point, she barely dies, but no, strong enough to keep going, and for the win. So it wasn't like it was like monkey easy, but it was pretty much, this typical, like when I was doing the locksmith over and over, I was getting about 60-70% success rate. So that's why I went ahead and hit it again at the end of the war. Then let me show you another thing. Let me show you, I actually hit it first with Butterburger. Let me show you that because it's an interesting, notice how it was a 1-star 56%, but it shows you how small of a difference in Town Hall 11 can be the difference between a 3-star and a 1-star. So watch this and see if you see the difference that happens in the war. If you remember, you probably weren't, for those of you with perfect recall, you'll see it right there. Do you see the difference? I'll give you a moment to ponder. Yes, the wall breaker position is different. And what had happened is when I first did it, that stutter of the queen where she locked on that wall, which wasn't something I expected, I went ahead and just dropped the wall breakers here, just kind of thinking, well, I'll just go there. And in reality, that's critical because now watch what happens with the flow. Because where do the bowlers go? where do they got to go? They're going to go backside, right? And so now the healers have a choice. The healers either got to stay with the queen or go with the bowlers, but we're going to lose. We really want them to stay together, right? And so healers stay with the queen. She walks into the infernos. Would have been better if they would have gone with the healers over there, but either way, we split up our group and it ends up being a, right? So I just found it very interesting that small of a difference, the wall breakers, truly was the difference between a 1-star and a 3-star in a Town Hall 11. And so that's why you have to kind of really iterate to understand why your 1-star is wrong. Because sometimes you might be right, but just have a small tweak difference being the good thing. Let me show you the one other one that kind of drove them over the edge. And then you can decide whether I need to turn myself into Supercell and admit that even though I'm horrible, I am a modder and a bad one. With rare 1 out of 200 wars that it works for me. What they liked about this attack, even though it ended up not being a 3-star, is it had the potential, if I would have done better on the spell usage, look at this queen walk value. I mean, it's real. Well, first of all, it's really hard to get in on this base. And if I could pull up for you the queen walk diagram that we ended up doing. 4 other people had tried to hit this base in earlier, Town Hall 9s, trying to help me nail down how to get this queen into the box. We tried this way, they tried that way. And finally, I pulled out the old modeling tool and modeled the queen where it should start to where we can dive in with the right cuts to get her in there. So there is a reason for the queen walk tool still today, even with these miner and bowler attacks. But then notice the nice king cut here, keeping the miners in place to get them to flow to mid. And that's where I think I went wrong, is the spell usage. Usually the rage wasn't bad. It was the heal that I shouldn't have done. That was a little early on the heal, because you see I have the healers in position. We're really not taking a lot of damage. It was a wasted heal. And if I would have done that heal later, right, because really they're still not in danger. They're still not in danger. Right there, they're in danger, and I didn't have the heal. So just one mistake could have easily translated this to be a 3-star. And I think, but what they were impressed with, I don't think typically people are able to penetrate and do that walk. But they don't know the modeling that we go through. Here, let me pull it up. Let me pause for a second. I'll pull it up. Okay. So here it is. So this is for the Fluvial to feel better. So see, this is how we actually ended up modeling it. The reds are the different cut teams that ended up playing out. And I think I even modeled the king down there. But as usual, shooting positions, yellow are the shots from that position. B is the movement of the queen as you move through and the different things she's targeting using this handy dandy queen rangefinder. So I knew once I got to J that I was basically, there was nothing else left for her to get to. Just at that point, she would walk forward and trigger. And I knew that then if I dropped the miners and they would be coming across this way, if I had gotten this part down, that the queen, even though she dies out to whatever, the healers would switch over to the miners that would be coming through, driving in this manner. So it's actually a very nice flow that I'd seen in the prior war. I had tried to do it on another base. So there you go. Feel better, Fluvial? Maybe now you're like, oh, maybe he's just anal. He's not a modder. Let's go back to the war. All right, so that's enough of that. Enough of RunBuck accused, most wanted clasher. You can vote in the comments if you think I should be put in prison or let to be stayed free because I'm just bad and everybody knows it. While you vote, we will look at the next attack, which was, CactusClan. He had a great war. 6 stars, hitting all pure Town Hall 10. So let's take a look at his top one. And this one's interesting because in the prior war, this is similar base. Notice it's that same H pattern base that I love to refer to. Come and play. That's Sesame Street for you. But what's interesting is that he attacks it the same way. HeBo flanks with HeBo charge, but he attacks with the non-broadside. So not like Garth Carlos, who I think did it prior, but rather he's coming in with just the more classic jump into the box, then rage. Here, let me kick up the speed here. Then he rages, deals with the poison of the CC, and he's just basically handling it one at a time. Pounds through the wall, and then freezes the backside Inferno. And both styles work. So I think, it'd be interesting to continue to watch, because I think H bases are becoming popular. People are seeing a lot of people struggling with them, trying to figure out how to get the Infernos down. But you can see here that this was a nice bowler style of dealing with it. Um, so yeah, not bad by CactusClan. And yeah, as I said, he had another 3-star. Whoop, I just skipped right out of there, didn't I, Cactus? You get no love. He had another star here. Let's see if this is a really cool base. Maybe I'll do another bonus here. Double bonus. It's different. Has no infernos though, so really it's kind of a nuke, so we'll leave that out. All right, so third up on the voting was, oh, Jek 1, Jek 2. What kind of crazy Rudberg gold device have you created today, Jek? Let's see. He likes to create custom attacks. Oh yeah, as I remember. We'll go 2 times speed. So check this out. He actually recognizes within the base this dead zone. And then because of that, he drops 3 golems with wizards, 3 GoWiz. But really what he's doing, what I called it in the thumbnail, was a naked queen walk or royal walk because of the fact that he doesn't have to deal with any flanking outside of these 2 Teslas at the start. But he can handle that because the shield is still in place. But because he doesn't have to deal with a flanking until God knows way down here, he can basically just walk a meat shield in a circle pattern around the base using jumps to direct his troops, and then reinforce it with another golem and wizards as he goes along to kind of push down and keep the pressure going. So it's really an interesting view or approach to if you've got a dead zone where it's not so much of a healer based attack. And maybe we'll go back and look at, because you'd say, well, usually I'd look at that base and say, oh, dead zone, working around, that's a perfect HeBo, ho. So healers off on top of like 12 giants, and you just walk them around the base, letting them bang through the walls. But maybe this is a better way as the bases get maxed. Because I do kind of get nervous as you go to HeBo and you have so many walls to break through. See how it's not. One thing you want with HeBo is more of an anti-3 structure, not so many walls, because he had to break through. If he would have not had jump spells, he would have had to break through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, a lot of walls. And so if you've got a lot of walls but still have a dead zone and they're maxed, maybe it's just this naked royal walk. Where you just do 3 golems, kind of they're moving, and then you reinforce with an additional golem. He actually ended up with 5 golems in that attack. Holy smokes. I thought it was 4. Jeez. That's a 5 golem naked queen walk. And who doesn't like a naked walk in the morning? I don't, but maybe others do. Maybe Check does. Maybe that's why he thought of it. Who knows? Bonus round. We have, and these are all fresh attacks except for mine, where we had a ton of people from the clan try to get that walk to work before. So that was an interesting, because it was an interesting, kind of exercise, because it didn't matter how high level their queen was. The walk is the same. The riddle is the same. Get that queen into the box. But a mag on 11, fresh a hit, getting a real deep Coke kind of, oh yeah, ton of sound to my voice right now. What is up? You guys are like, please shut up and just show the attack. Okay, here you go. Here you go, you thankless people. All right, so here we go. What is the Magnus doing? He's got the king running off, doing a little bit of run forward action on the left, or you could call that just a flanking. So maybe this is a king flank. Queen is in the box. Interesting that he triggers the CC with the king. So I guess he's sacrificing. Probably intentionally. He knows that the king would die and then the queen would kind of be hanging out there, not dead yet. So if so, that probably is the nicest part, where it's really a disjointed trigger, where he lets the king flank suicide, because he knows he'll trigger it, and then his queen will be down in the position where he wants her, and then he can do healer Valk off the top there. Because the queen's really just working, chugging along, man. Not a problem. And he does have 3 bowlers and 3 archers left, so for those of you at home that are getting a little nervous, don't worry. He's got backup troops that I don't even know if he's going to use. Are you going to use the 3 barbarians? No, he's not. He doesn't care. So interesting. The I don't think a lot of people would think about letting the king trigger and then having it come back and be dealt with in another area by the queen. So that was a little different. And then to kind of have a sense for the queen would still be in action with the healers behind it, and then just have two healer teams, one with Valks and one with the queen, working the base. 8 healers, 4 on each. Interesting. So pretty nice attacks all in all for all those different guys. Good war. Got accused of modding, so I like that. And we'll just move on. Even though we lost, I think it was a good war, and so we'll take on next. I think the Brazilian War Clan will be the next one up. We'll try to get that out maybe in a couple days. Talk to you guys later. What am I gonna do? My clan sucks. Hey, it's JTJ.
I think that's an all-out attack.
No, it's the legendary JTJU. JTJU. What? I like my horn. You and this army. Download Clash of Clans for free. Then subscribe to JTJU and win.